Spotify, and you can support Strong Take. Also, make sure to check out my merchandise in my merchandise shop. We have CDs, t-shirts, hoodies, and
from the underground. I don't need my drugs. We could be more than just part-time lovers. I can feel your touch, picking me up from the underground. I don't need my drugs. We could be more than just part-time lovers. We could be more than just part-time lovers. We could be more than just part-time lovers. I get robbed from my sleep. There's my voice beating to me. I don't know, but I don't know how. You don't know how it is. I can feel your love in me underground.
May I please have a number 1 with no pickles? Just a large Sprite. And that's it? Yes, ma'am. No pickles. Thank you.